Diesel, inventor of the compression ignition engine that bears his name, allegedly drowned in the English Channel 103 years ago. While tragically unfortunate for the inventor himself, this is also bad news for those looking for a metaphor to frame the modern dilemma in which the diesel engine finds itself. At risk of sounding grossly insensitive, it would be much better for us if he had met his watery demise in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, illustrating the radically different views that Europe and the U.S. have with regard to the automotive applications of his famous invention. For BMW, diesels represented 6% of its U.S. sales in 2014, the last calendar year before the Volkswagen scandal limited their appeal further still. Meanwhile in Europe, compression ignition remains utterly dominant, especially among premium automakers in some European countries. It is anticipated that 90% of sales of the new 5 Series will be diesels. BMW's recent commitment to U.S. diesel sales puts an optimistic spin on things, but there is as yet no confirmation that we will ever see a debadged version of the new 5 Series. Sparkless of interest. In the European opposite land, 5 Series buyers can choose among as many diesel variants as we can gasoline engines. There's a basic 2.0-liter inline-4 520D likely to spawn a detuned 518D variant, and then a 3.0-liter inline-6 that gets progressively more powerful in its 530D and forthcoming 540D and M550D guises. The Euro Spec 530D M Sport that we drove for this review, complete with the optional all-wheel drive that BMW calls X-Drive, stands the best chance of making it to the U.S. market. Performance of the 530D is entirely adequate, if short of the face-distorting shove mustered by some of Europe's brawnier performance diesels, and which we can safely predict the M550D will deliver. The 530D's peak output of 261 horsepower is respectable, although it's the 457 pounds-foot torque peak available from 2,000 revolutions per minute that gives the car its effortless demeanor. The standard ZF-sourced 8-speed automatic works best with the driving mode switch left in its default comfort setting because Sport has it changing down a gear on small accelerator applications when it doesn't really need to, and we also have to criticize the light operation and plasticky feel of the steering wheel shift paddles. And even Europeans can't get a manual transmission with this model. Connected and frugal. BMW is keen to emphasize the 5 Series' high level of connectivity. Exciting news if you deeply desire a car only because it can synchronize with your diary and Microsoft Exchange email as well as its plethora of advanced safety systems. Most of these keep a watchful eye in the background, but a stretch of Spanish autopista gave us a chance to test the semi-autonomous cruise control. While this manages straight stretches well, it struggled to apply enough steering to keep the car on track in tighter highway corners and wouldn't change lanes when the turn signal stalk was pressed. Maybe we weren't within the 43 to 112 miles per hour window in which lane change assistant functions, or maybe we didn't hold the directional stalk long enough for its tastes. It's probably the one area where the 5 Series feels notably inferior to the Drive Pilot equipped T-Class. We hope BMW's ongoing commitment to diesel power in the U.S. means that the 530D will make the trip across the Atlantic, because it would be a huge shame if we were denied this characterful and impressively frugal engine. Our test car managed and indicated 37 miles per gallon under enthusiastic use. Our test of the previous generation model returned 32 miles per gallon and wore a base price of $57,525. Based on our European drive, this new one is probably the most interesting new generation 5 Series so far, certainly this side of the forthcoming V8-powered M550i X-Drive. We think Americans would appreciate it.